Hello. In this video we're going to take a few minutes and we're going to look at the calculations that you have to do for project 3.1.4 measuring energy. This is the one where we have built wind turbines and have used those as a weight lifter. Up in the top window you see here I have a copy of your data collection sheet with your formulas and other information that's been given to you, and then you can just see the top of the table there where you've got to record your data. In the bottom window I'm kind of using that almost like a scrap piece of paper to lay out my calculations and show how I'm going to add, multiply, divide, and so on there to get the numbers that I need. So if you kind of watch back and forth between those, we'll see the process that we go through to make the calculations. So if I look at my data, I'm going to do the calculations we need for a trial where we lifted 3 washers. The distance that I had on my wind turbine was 52 centimeters. You need to be sure that you measure the distance that you have on yours and use that amount. And I had 4.5 seconds, and we've already filled in the force of gravity, which is 9.8 meters per second, which is a standard amount. So I'm going to come across and I want to calculate each item that I need for each column going across there. You can see that I want washer mass, and you can see in the bottom window here we know that one washer weighs approximately 15.1 grams. So if I set that up, 3 times 15.1 is going to give me the amount that I need in grams. But for the rest of my calculations I need this amount to be in kilograms. So to transform that into kilograms I can divide the number that I get by 1,000. So there's actually 2 steps in that math process there. So I'm going to pull up my calculator and plug in 3 times 15.1 gives me 45.3 grams. And I'm going to go ahead and record that up here in my data sheet. And then if I take that same amount and divide it by 1,000, you see I have 0.0453 kilograms, which is the amount I need to record, 0.0453 kilograms. And that should work fine for the rest of my calculations. Alright, so I have my distance next. It's at 52 centimeters. And I also need that to show up in meters. So I've got to do a little conversion on that one as well. So what I'll do is actually divide that amount by 100. So I'm going to set up 52 centimeters divided by 100 to get the amount that I need. Let's clear this entry. 52 divided by 100 gives me 0.52 meters. 0.52 meters. 4.5 seconds. I don't have to change that in any way. And with that information there, I'm actually ready to start making calculations on the main items that I want to see from my wind turbine, like speed, output force, work, and power. Right? So following the formulas that I've been given, you can see speed equals distance divided by time. So in this case, my speed is going to be equal to my meters, which is my distance, 0.52 divided by 4.5 seconds. 4.5 seconds. Alright, so in my calculator I already have 0.52, so I can use that. Divided by 4.5 gives me a really ugly looking decimal number. I'm going to suggest that we round this off to 3 decimal places. So when we record this one, let's record 0.11 and and then that 5 should round up since the fourth digit is a 5. 6 meters per second. You always want to be sure and include your units. Alright, so we have speed. Force of gravity, of course, is a constant that's been given to us. To get output force, we'll take that gravity amount and multiply it by our mass. So, in that case, gravity is 9.8 meters per second, and we're going to multiply that by our mass number, which is 0.0453 kilograms. 9.8 times 0.0453 kilograms. And in that case, I get 0.44394 newtons. The units on that one. Next comes work. So for work, the output force, which we just calculated, gets multiplied by the distance. So in this case, it would be 0.44394 times the distance that we have, 0.52. .44394 times 0.52. And this one I would say we should also round off to 3 decimal places. In that case, that would be 0.231 joules as the units on this one. And our last calculation is power, which is given to us in the units of watts, which means our work amount is divided by the time that it took to lift our weight. So in that case, our work amount is 0.231, and we're going to divide that one by 4.5 seconds. So doing our calculation, 0.231 divided by 4.5 gives a value of 0.051. 0.051 watts. And that shows the process that we go through to do the calculations that we need based on our wind turbine results. I hope this is helpful. I really encourage you to do what I did down here in the bottom window of laying out your formulas and your math calculations. You can do this on a scrap sheet of paper. It helps keep me organized to do it this way and help know what I'm putting into my calculator and help keep up with all my values there. So if you'll follow this approach, then you should have very little trouble actually doing the calculations that you need based on your results from the wind turbine activity. Thanks a lot for watching, and I hope it's helpful.